Yep.
Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome back to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Supermarket Simulator, as well as an Art Marten stream with Wereni doing art down there in the bottom left.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're just kind of chilling here, talking about StarCraft and some of the future of the industry, after the stressful couple missions I did in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, kind of just segue into there.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the reason why I was kind of going on during the break about, the campaign story is that, I feel like accessibility for an RTS, it kind of needs to have a campaign to draw people in. Because I think RTS in and of itself, you can make a really good RTS, but you're only going to really draw in the people who care about RTSs, which is sadly dwindling.
Well, the reason why it's dwindling, though, is the fact that there isn't any coming out. Like, if you look at it, there's still plenty of fans for a lot of these genres that the industry is like, nobody wants to play that anymore. There really are a lot of fans of those genres, but the companies aren't putting them out because reasons.
Or, I mean, think about it this way. How do you monetize an RTS in the current state of the gaming industry?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, when, a mount or a skin can make more money than the entire development of a brand new game, yeah, they're going to look for the cheap and easy ways to monetize things, where I would be worried about, an RTS going down the route of a pseudo, hero brawler. Basically imagine an entire RTS with Karrakin's gameplay mechanics from Heart of the Swarm. You have your main commander who is on the battlefield with you, and you have all the RTS mechanics, but all the focus is on that commander. Buy skins for them, buy upgrades for them, buy the new one. I'm gonna feel really bad if I'm giving some studio developer an idea.
Hey, keep going. I'll be right back. I need to finish this cutscene. I don't want to have y'all stop. So, BRB.
But RTSs require a level of dedication and finesse when it comes to balancing. When you have a highly competitive multiplayer like that in turn requires people to be the product. Look at things like Tooth and Tail. The RTS is still down.
That game was good.
You don't have a player base, then the RTS ceases to really function well.
Yeah, it kind of works with any game, honestly.
Yeah.
Tooth and Tail was a great game.
But Tooth and Tail was a small indie game. StarCraft is a big AAA. You need to have millions of sales to make it worthwhile. You need to have thousands of people still playing concurrently to make sure the game doesn't feel dead, or at least doesn't die off as quickly. And not many people in this day and age are going to spend $60 on an unproven RTS unless they're getting something else out of it. And I know I'm looking at Stormgate is going to be free to play, which is definitely going to make the monetization options a bit harder. Blizzard could get away with the upfront cost because you're getting a campaign, you're getting the Blizzard cinematics out of that. StarCraft movie when?
I know, right?
Whenever they get a director that's not going to destroy it. To add on to what you're saying, the big problem that kind of messes up every AAA's idea, that kind of mindset of they need to make the buck that they're putting in, they're putting more and more money into it, is that there's too many of them that are doing the same shit of wanting to make a game that's going to last forever. The game as a service
And that's
model,
the swear jar.
So bad. Okay. But yeah, games as a service. That's the problem. There's too many. You can't. There's only so much time in the day, and so many people to play games. They're eating each other alive trying to make that kind of game. There's just too many. You saw what happened. What was that one game that I don't remember the name of? That like lived for like a day and died. Sony.
Concord.
Yeah.
8 years
That
of
was one of those
development,
cases.
gone in like less than 2 weeks. Actually, sorry, 2 days, I think.
Exactly. So, ugh. It's a minefield.
I'm happy I decided not to work in the gaming industry.
It's
Yeah,
not a
that's one of the
gaming
reasons I
industry
didn't either.
anymore. It's a monetization industry. Like the game is just a framework to hang all your merchandise store off of.
I mean, like, if you want to kind of get like the distilled version of what's wrong, like, look at Star Citizen.
Star Citizen. Oh, please don't remind me of that.
I play Star Citizen. I've given CIG too much money.
But at least you haven't given them like $48,000 of too much money.
Oh,
Yeah, at least
boy.
I'm not fucking that dumb.
Like, there's different store pages that unlock when you start spending more money. Like, if you spend like $1,000 in the game, you actually unlock like
concierge access.
yeah, and that goes up to like spending like $15,000 in the game. And there's like a bundle that is like $48,000.
That is wild.
Which is insane.
And like the game is not out.
Oh, it's early
doesn't
access
have
too.
to.
That sounds about
yeah,
right.
it's early access. It's
That's
Like, so
stay in early access, get money infinitely.
yeah, so they basically made a business model of having good ideas that don't necessarily have to cohere together because it's early access. That will come later, and we're still going to charge you, significant amounts of money.
I don't know when they actually really started taking that. Was when Hades came out, and they were like, "Oh shit, Hades can do
No,
it.
the
That's
tech
handy, we
that-
could do it too."
CIG has put out actually is pretty cool.
Oh, like, absolutely. Like, if the game actually says, like, hey, like, if they just say, hey, this is what we want for 1.0, we are going to work towards it, we are going to commit to releasing it this date, yeah, it's going to be worth checking out. But it's been in development for how long?
Very long time.
Like, I
Part
feel
of the
like
problem is that by the time they actually launch, all of that impressive tech is already going to be done by somebody else.
Yeah.
or we'll have to go through an engine rewrite or update like that just to keep things concurrent. But
They
yeah,
already
like,
had to do that.
yeah, like, I feel like if you're releasing an early access or you've done a crowdfunding, you shouldn't. You should try your best to maintain your scope and vision within your budget. Because I feel like charging people, not some microtransactions, but hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars for microtransactions in an early access title is just extremely predatory.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Oh, show.
but hey, they haven't been punished for it because you will have the person that is going to be spending that money, and that's levels of money is more than some people make in a year.
Or 4.
Or 4. But how could you do that in an RTS? How can you find the way to exploit the whale that cares about StarCraft, and will spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on StarCraft?
I know I am currently learning Unity because I am going to get into developing games. But for me, I'm not looking at it as a primary source of income. Streaming's always going to be that. I'm just looking for, hey, I want to play this game, so I'm going to make the game. If nobody else wants to play it, well, it'll suck, but...
You've made the game that you want to play.
Exactly.
Like,
It's a good design model.
what? And look, that's the kind of mentality that has made, you know, those
Good
sleeper
stuff,
hit
yeah.
games. Like,
Mhm.
Lethal Company.
That's what made Minecraft, like, Minecraft was literally that. That's where it started.
Minecraft, Stardew Valley.
Mhm.
You know, Stardew Valley is a one-man developer who, you know, basically made their own kind of like take on was it Harvest Moon?
Mhm. Yeah, Harvest Moon.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to make. Tower defense, RTS. I know a lot of my, well, okay, so Dwarf Fortress technically was made by 2. It was just most of it was done by one guy.
I mean, still less than 5
But
people.
look,
already crazy.
even then, like, you know, we're not looking at like, you know, hey, we're looking at the small efforts, like
Yeah.
the passion projects.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, hey, I mean, actually, like, look at Cassette Beast as well. Like, not to the same level of success, but like, that's a small team that just wanted to make a fun game with their own heart, and heck, Cassette Beast has passion in it.
Passion projects tend to be far more successful because people can tell when you're passionate about what you're making.
Yep. I should make. I mean, I'm actually gonna be doing the TF game jam again. I might try and remake the hit Werenimal title viral game that had that I made that has over 20,000 plays on itch.io.
Hey, do it.
Though this one's, I don't know. I might. Viral was had some NSFW content, so I'm probably not gonna make it with that. I'm probably gonna make it safer work, but still very TF themed.
I already played it already.
I know I'm working on, setting up the groundwork for the TF game jam for Scar.
Nice, nice.
Heck yeah.
I was actually like, I was in TCDDA, just getting my bike license, and like while I was waiting, I'm like, okay, let me like sit back and like think about the core mechanics of like the tabletop I want to make.
Scar itself is passion project. Like, I don't. The most I currently really have plans to monetize on it is simply, oh, you want a printed edition of the book? Well, you pay for that, but otherwise, I'm not that concerned about making money off of it. I will probably be, I will be putting it up on Kickstarter, but it's mostly to cover the cost of actually publishing it. Because for those that don't know, it is very freaking expensive to publish a game or publish a book. Hey, Paradoxical. Yes, Noodle.
Everything
Gib
costs
Gab,
so much
it's
money dollars.
It's more that I have to register an ISBN for it, and those are a couple $1,000s per edition of the book. If I want to release a softcover book, that'll be one ISBN. I want to release a hardcover edition, another ISBN. And it goes on and on. Plus, I do want to actually get funds for paying, you know, Whiskers and Raijin for doing art for the book. Because while it may be a passion project for me, it's not necessarily one for them. They deserve to be paid.
I want tree fitting.
I'll be right back. Still is asking for hugs. BRB.
Need that tree fitty.
Can I hire another restocker yet? Nope. Still 2 more levels.
Restocker you were looking for is in another DLC.
No. But back to StarCraft. I know I've heard there have been so many speculations going around about what might be next in the franchise. The most, I know at one point there were talks about an MMO, but I don't think that one's likely. But there have been a lot of talks about a not the research I did, GibGab. There's a lot that goes into that stuff. It's one of those things where you're not just paying for one thing, it's a whole bunch of things that all add up into the overall thing. But either way, that is something I'll worry about more later, when I'm actually closer to publishing it. But there's been talks of a shooter for it, which I kind of hope not. We've got enough shooters as is.
Yeah, I don't know how current that is because, like, I know. I mean, you're probably well aware of the StarCraft Ghost game that was developed like eons ago and then like never actually got finished.
Oh yeah, that.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Seda.
So like I could generally see a shooter in the StarCraft universe work because I mean heck we have PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2. You know, imagine an asymmetric, you know, MMO FPS based off of StarCraft.
It would be cool.
It would be cool if they pull it off. But the question is, again, how do you pull it off and not turn into those pitfalls of, well, hey, we're going to release an overpowered weapon, or yeah, we're gonna, you know, neglect balance because yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, like overall, I feel like if you want to make an RTS, you have to kind of include some kind of like replayable campaign of sorts, because it does twofold. It eases people into the idea of RTSs that haven't normally played them, and it also can make people more invested in the universe.
Oh, yeah. One thing that I kind of have in my head for any games that I make is making, having it very much set up for modding.
Heck yeah. Happy to hear that.
With an emphasis on especially being able to make their own campaigns. Whether it goes anywhere, who knows? But at least the option would be there, you know?
That's dope, and I love that game design. I feel like the best games have been made from devs that let the players do that kind of stuff. You check out all the things that happened with Valve when they first started. They gave the players the ability to make games, and they made Counter-Strike. So, yeah, it's kind of wild. That's how we got most of the fun maps for Halo. That's how we got Call of Duty Zombies. Shoot.
I just know I want more RTS.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, like, if
levels.
if Blizzard came out and said, like, hey, actually, we're gonna do like one final little campaign mission for like StarCraft 2, similar to like the Nova episodes, I'd be all for it.
I would immediately throw money. Immediately. I wouldn't care what it was. I would throw it at it in the hopes that maybe it'll be a bit of encouragement for them to do more. Because, yeah, that whole Nova Spec Ops thing was awesome. And I want more like that.
Yeah, it's honestly like what I hope for. I hope from the casual side of RTS, because yeah, we don't have to necessarily have this big sweeping narrative that has been going on for 20 years. Like Nova Spec Ops was pretty much like the tone that I'd hoped for. I had hoped for StarCraft 2. You know, you had a decent amount of mystery and intrigue. You had betrayal. You know, you basically had the politics of the setting, which made it feel more grounded. But you also combined, you know, some customizable gameplay. You know, it wasn't as customizable as, like, you know, Legacy of the Void, but yeah, you could augment Nova to suit your needs for that mission, and just like with any RTS, you can kind of approach things from at least two different perspectives.
Never
And
got
I-
to play that one. Was that on PlayStation or was that just the PC one too?
Oh no, the Nova Spec Ops missions were actually just a mini campaign in StarCraft 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember seeing about it. Nova's the one that becomes the queen or whatnot, right?
No.
No, that's Kerrigan.
Oh. I mix them up all the time, I think.
I mean, they're both ghosts, so it's a
And
fair
that's the
comparison.
reason. I remember playing her in the MOBA.
Oh, boss.
Just kind of reading about her storyline and seeing like little bits and pieces, but I never played the game.
Yeah, oh, boss.
But honestly, like, if they just come out with like a mini campaign like that every 2 years, I'd be pretty content.
Same.
Even though it's only like, you know, 2-3 hours of content, depending upon how you play, maybe a little bit more. You'd be
Yeah,
like,
but
yeah,
that's 2 years of content that they, or 2 or 3 years of production they can use to put out more shovelware that people will spend $80 on, plus paywall, DLC, put the time offer.
Pikesh, you are fading out really bad.
Oh.
I can barely understand a thing you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Mike must be getting a little funny.
Exactly, Gib Gab. I'm okay with shorter experiences if they are good experiences. I don't
like
need a big blockbuster game. I just need to have fun.
And also, the higher scope means you have a higher fall if you fail to meet the ambition.
Is there anyone like even gamer wise that's making games anymore? I mean, they're making franchises, they're making IPs, but it's not really games anymore. It's just as a service.
There are still plenty of indie developers out there putting
Yeah,
out really great games.
But I mean, the big boys are basically, nah, more shovelware. That sucks.
It does. You can find diamonds in the rough with AAA stuff sometimes. That Sony robot game that came out was a really good one, I've heard. But again, it is getting rarer and rarer when people are trying to make them as a service. But just like Zib said, there's so many indies out there that just keep making dope games. As long as they don't get sued by Nintendo, we'll keep getting them.
Oh, I mean,
Can't get a physical copy anymore either.
it's one of those things where it just kind of boils back to the bloody mounts. Like you have it set up so you can you can have a system where a player will want to fork out potentially $40 for a skin. You've made it as a game because you're going to have someone that's going to buy that. It's an insane return on investment.
Yep.
So everyone's trying to get to that state where, yeah, people will spend money on your game.
It's so sad. The problem is, like, they can make games like that and make it easy. You could have a game that's really good and have like, oh yeah, $10 skin, $5 skin. That's it every so often, and they'd make a lot, pretty damn good money. But the problem is, they want to make stupid good money. They want to make the millions and millions they expect back because of how everybody else got that money. And then they start adding the season passes and the extra little microtransactions and the extra points you have to get the thing and the FOMO, and then that's when it gets stupid. That's the problem.
Yep. It is no longer the goal to make a good game. It's the goal to make a platform to sell skins.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to make just good enough of a game that people want to then spend money on it outside of their initial purchase, if it is that kind of model.
Thankfully, there's stuff out there without that. You make me want to play this game I just got done playing that was pretty fun, that had like literally a gacha mechanic, but it was just in the game and free. It was just something to do. Because like gacha stuff is not necessarily bad. The whole, like, you've seen Vampire Survivor, it can be super fun and awesome. It's just how you put it in the game when it comes to making a microtransaction, making the money.
I mean, like you look at games like Warframe. Been going on for like what, over 10 or 11 years now, and yeah, they only get supported with the microtransactions. So they do have your typical like skip the content kind of ones, but even if you skip a lot of the grind, you can't buy power. You can look as flashy as you want, but you still got to play the game to blow everything up. And it's PvE for the most part. And yeah, it can be a viable model if you build up enough of a player base and you treat your players right. Like, heck, like there have been so many times where they've listened to feedback, given quality of life patches for even issues that have been talked about for years, and thought that yeah, we'll probably never get this done, but just live with it. But do the AAAs take the lessons of that? They see like, oh well, hey, we could just get more people in the door and have them buy to support the game. Oh wait, we didn't make a good enough game. Error, the equation has fallen apart.
Mm-hmm.
to kind of wrap things back around because it is nearly 5 a.m. My brain is starting to get fried. As much as I would. Oh, was that sorry? Your mic's gotten weird again.
Oh no. Might need to restart.
What happened?
Yeah, I still can't catch it.
Sorry, dude, it's messing up bad.
But yeah, like
Jeez,
Yeah. yeah,
Thanks again.
yeah, and I feel like the the missing the mark on a lot of things because yeah, the game industry is an industry, but we are not bottomless pits of cash.
Or time.
Yeah. Like the people who I'm going to say that because the gaming community is constantly evolving, so I don't want to like make generalizations there, but yeah, we cannot spend 3-4 hours a day grinding our dailies to make sure we get the most value out of our battle pass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot
FOMO.
just because we bought a $20, shining, sparkly, wolf mount, doesn't mean that we can keep on spending $20 of $20 when you keep on releasing mounts. Like
They keep on throwing out all of this stuff and thinking, oh yeah, people are just gonna keep buying, and these executives are so drastically disconnected from reality itself that they don't understand that that will not last. And it already is not lasting. It's already, that bubble is bursting.
They don't care.
It's kind of wild. We see stuff come out that like has 4 or 5-year-old gameplay design ideas, and they're just, and it's at the point where it's like, well, we gotta do something now, otherwise we won't get any money, and then we get even more stuff that should have been.
I mean,
not made anyway.
as like a side point, like look at Satisfactory. They're like, yeah, we would not. Satisfactory would not be in the state it's in if it weren't for Factorio. Because definitely was a lot of inspiration and I guess like spark on the factory building genre that got dropped there, and their early access was full of communication, constantly asking for player feedback, and just before 1.0 launch, it'd be like, oh, actually, hey guys, just to give you guys the heads up, after the Steam sale, the price will be increasing because we can't change it right when 1.0 drops. We kind of have to change it at a particular mark before then, so it's going up in price on this date, and it was still only like $40 or something. Where you look at, the AAA games now, like they're really trying to push the $70, $80 game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, and I appreciate inflation is a thing, but inflation is likewise also limiting the amount of games that people can spend.
Let's see what boss we get. I agree.
And like in conclusion, like since we were kind of talking a lot about StarCraft before, it's like I worry how a AAA studio in this day of gaming would approach an RTS.
Oh, you want this unit? That'll be $14.99.
If someone tried to get away with that, they deserve to be right there with coals.
Well, the problem is, I unfortunately could see some of them actually pulling it off. And that's the scary thing.
Sonic 06. Mephiles.
Did you not mention Sonic 06 in here?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm fighting a boss with Sonic 06.
It really depends on what you define as to pull it off. Because, like, StarCraft, you know, I mean, actually, then again, its competitive scene is still kind of in, you know, all respect still going on. Like, it has its longevity due to just how, I'd say, interesting the asymmetric balance is. And at least in StarCraft 2's lifespan, you know, you did have a regular amount of balance updates. For better or for worse. But they did try to balance things because, you know, one unit shouldn't dominate. It should be like an RTS really should have multiple mini Swiss Army knives that have their own strengths. Because I feel like StarCraft 2's balance definitely went a little bit too hard into this is the counter. Oh, hey, your opponent is building Brutal Lords. The counter really is, like, Tempests or Vikings. If your Zerg opponent did a Muta switch and you're playing Protoss, you better have scouted that, you know, way before, because you better have started building Phoenixes or a bunch of Blink Stalkers with sentries. And you are screwed if you went robotics. There was, I think, very little, I guess, like, game design balance that allowed for soft counters. Where, like, you know, hey, maybe I don't have the best unit for this situation, but if I outplay it or, you know, get a good engagement, I might be able to, you know, not take as much of a loss or maybe take a win. And yeah, I'd be worried about how a AAA studio would approach making RTS, where, yeah, do they try to make things competitively balanced and, you know, probably cheap out by making just one unit and you just a mirror matchup? Or do they go asymmetric and run the risk of not paying a proper amount of attention to the balance? Because look, you want to see arguments. You want to see the StarCraft 2 balance arguments. This is imbalanced. This is overpowered. This needs to be nerfed down to the ground. This needs to be a buff. This is useless.
I'm pretty sure it was GibGab that was telling me about how the Ghost Snipe ability can take down even an Ultralisk in one shot. So Zerg players compensated by building a cloud of Overlords over top of their armies. Can't snipe them if they can't click on them. Oh, it's 3 snipes that take down an Ultralisk? Ah, I thought it was only 1.
But we still have the EMP from the Ghost that just basically eradicates half of Protoss HP because it just drains the shields.
Yeah.
And yeah, GibGab, I feel like Legacy of the Void definitely moved the balance in the right direction. You had gameplay, especially in Heart of the Swarm, that got way too quick. Where Legacy of the Void definitely put a good amount of balance on encouraging economic plays, but while not strictly punishing. Sorry, hiccup. The more aggressive plays. Like, the game slowed down in Legacy of the Void, and you did have a step away from those hard counters, but I feel like especially Wings of Liberty, and to certain degrees Heart of the Swarm, just had, yeah, way too hard counters involved.
To be fair, with both of those, the competitive scene just wasn't done yet. Because they hadn't actually come out with the other, they had not even come out with the other two. Like when Wings of Liberty came out, yeah, the Terrans were fully developed, but the Zerg and Protoss weren't.
But I mean, in some regards, that like
I'll be
Blizzard
right back, y'all.
demonstrated like what was the life cycle of like RTSs, where hey, you have your base game comes out, and you could put the game through tons of hours of QA, but you put it into the pro players, you're gonna see where things are weak.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to see. Legacy of the Void. I think the Tempest was okay. So like Tempest was introduced in Heart of the Swarm. Like, you look at the Heart of the Swarm expansion for Protoss. Their biggest weakness was this Sky Stargate opening. Sky Toss was, if you managed to pull off Carrier and Mothership, yeah, you kind of won. But getting there was not an easy transition. So we got the Oracle and we got the Tempest. A nice agile harassment unit that I absolutely loved and is probably one of my favorite StarCraft units of all time. I abused Oracle openings. I got 30 to 60 kills per Oracle on a good game. My opening Oracle in one match just ended the game with, I think, like 67 kills. It never died.
Jeez.
But then you also look at like the Adept, and I'm sorry, biased because I'm a Protoss player, so I know a little more of the intricacies of this. But like the Adept was an answer to, hey, gateway compositions, gateway openings are kind of a weak point for Protoss. We don't like Protoss didn't really have a good early game harassment unit. I still kind of feel like the Disruptor is, yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, had a bit of a cutscene there. I could run really fast, but I can't run away from the pain. Ugh, Shadow.
You're good. But yeah, like the overall thing is that like I feel like in RTS, like I think in a lot of regards there's room for it to not really be fully complete at launch, because especially for an asymmetric design, there's going to be holes that you need to plug. And those holes can be filled with units. Like, look at the medic from StarCraft Brood War. Like, that made, infantry compositions in Brood War viable. Because, hey, you can actually heal. But I can also see like what you're kind of talking about, Zim, where like the Terran was more fleshed out because hey, they already had the campaign developed and stuff there, and you had a lot more, I guess, like insight on what compositions and support Terran needs, and not so much for the Zerg and Protoss. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But you can make an argument as potential pitfall of them going down the model of it being 3 separate games essentially, as opposed to a single game with episodic expansion.
I still enjoyed the game though a lot.
Oh yeah, will definitely rant about the epilogue, but that is a different conversation for a different day. Probably in about, I don't know, a month's time when you finish the campaign again.
I don't know if I'll get through it that fast, but maybe. We shall see.
because I feel like narratively they went downhill, but gameplay-wise, holy heck, did the developers of StarCraft really push what you could do with an RTS, and they made it fun.
They did.
And that's what I want to see more of is, it's not just here's your base, mine the minerals, find your enemy, kill them. It's like, yeah, we have this kind of top-down perspective with the base building and the army compositions. How can we just twist that genre a bit? And it's ultimately what I'd hope for in any kind of future RTS development, regardless if it's StarCraft 3 or something else. Like, hey, give me a fun campaign that does some different ideas related to the RTS genre. Put some weird environmental condition on there. Make a wall of fire go across the map that forces me to move my base and expand and, keep things mobile. Give me weird moving platforms and preferably move away from the, hey, there's multiple things on the map that I have to kill.
Yeah, tonight I was ranting about that one mission, the last mission that I did, but I still enjoyed that mission. They escort the people to the end. I liked it. I just wish it were a bit more realistic where, hey, guys, wait. Let me get the way safe. Let me decide when you go. That's my only complaint with it. Other than that, I enjoy that mission. It's just the whole...
Yeah, they should honestly have taken more of how the co-op map, a couple years down the road did it, where it's like, hey,
Aw.
you can early launch this, but hey, these guys are going to get impatient.
This is neat.
like you could have, for example, like a bunch of civilians like fleeing from their home, and you just see a couple Zergling here and there just tearing down the trailers, and yeah, if a couple of them get knocked down, they are going to start getting spooked and just be like, just go. Because I think in another regard, like, it's not fun mission design if it's just like, well, hey, you can build up your max supply army and then push out and just obliterate anything. Where's the fun and challenge of that?
It's a fine balance, honestly.
It is.
Real quick, the pinball spar I'm starting up, they added for free a trick or treat mode that lets your ball be a pumpkin head, just for free. It's really cute.
Nice. For me, if I designed that particular level, though, I would have gone the route of, yes, you can take time to build up your forces and defenses along the route. However, Zerg are going to be attacking your base, and they're going to be getting stronger and stronger just as you are, to keep up that pressure to get them out of there. But at the least, you have that say on when that truck is going. Because again, any military operation, the civilians are not calling the shots on when they get out of there.
Exactly. But gosh, no, as much as I want to continue the conversation, I need to sleep. It is very, very late.
Alright. I hope you sleep well. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one, Zeta.
You still awake over there, Wereni? Uh-oh.
That's no good.
Good luck. Have fun.
Wereni!
Dang. Should I play a more active game? I just went to chill mode because I thought we were gonna be talking about this for a while. I went ahead and put in pinball.
I don't know how much longer I'll be going anyways.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Sorry, I can't talk about StarCraft that long. We could talk the idea of how AAA is a bummer, but RTS isn't my forte. That's cool seeing you play that game again. Hey, how long has it been since you played that?
What?
StarCraft, the story mode.
Oh, it's been a couple years.
Oh dang, still holds up.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Those kind of games tend to do that. It's all about good game design, honestly, and I feel like the StarCraft had great game design. Let's see. Late for you too, Naso. If y'all need to call it, don't be afraid to call it now. You have a very late sleep schedule. Doesn't mean y'all have to stay up. The lurk does help, though. Oh, I love the piano in this game. It's so chill. This is one of those cases where nobody was making a pinball adventure game or a pinball with any kind of other mechanics, so this person did it themselves. Very small team. Very fun.
Wereni!
Wow.
Did you fall asleep?
Chi.
Interpreting
yes.
vague answer as yes.
Ooh, man up. Don't even speak Yeen, and I could tell that was definitely a yes.
That wasn't Yin. That was Wild Dog.
Oh, it's Wild Dog? Isn't
She-
Yeen a Wild Dog?
Dog.
No.
Yep, I will take your word. You are currently using the paint PNG right now over here, so I believe you.
Chi.
Wild dogs are dogs. They're canids. Thank you, Gib Gab.
Though I do got a little bit of that yin in me. So I wanted to have like a hyena like main, so I gave that my odds that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I just want a second restalker.
Well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Alright, before you do go though, please do get me those live image thing.
Okay.
I will
damn.
probably wrap up myself here. I was gonna get a couple more days in, but I was mostly just doing this for till Wereni was done, and then it turned out he fell asleep.
Fair. Hey, I got a monocle. Nice.
Gib Gab, I cannot hire one because I'm not high enough level yet. Wereni,
Hey, Master.
please do not do the Among Us thing on this, on those live images. The thumbnails. Before you decide to do that.
Hey, Master.
Yes.
Raptor lick. No.
Okay. Alright, thank you everybody for joining us today for a little bit of Supermarket Simulator, as well as this Hard Marten stream. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by, hanging out, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by subscribing to us on Streamloots. But for now, thank you so much for joining, everyone, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Duke.
Dude.